that hurricane and that flood in Texas, as far as Joel is concerned, maybe he was asleep at the wheel. But it was a wake-up call for him, because it wasn't long. A couple days later, he's back on there opening his doors. So either one of two things. Either he's telling the truth and he just wasn't able to open his doors, or this whole situation opened his eyes to recognize he better open those doors. Either way, the doors are open. Okay? And see, that's the situation of our lives as well. You know, don't look at situations as being so negative, so terrible when they happen. I certainly don't. I always look at situations as opportunities to improve. Opportunities to make myself better, whether it's healthier, whether it's with education, whether it's emotion, whether it's, physical conditioning, spirituality, whatever. Get yourself together. Don't be harsh with folks. Judge with mercy, and you'll receive mercy. Because Lord knows that's what we need. We are so imperfect. I think the problem with the Pharisees, this is what we'll close with, the problem that Jesus had even with the religious folks, it wasn't that they were messed up. Is that they were pretending like they were not messed up and they were still being hard on other people. See, Jesus said he came to see about the sick. We're sick. That's the whole purpose, the real gospel message. We are well in the eyes of God because of what Jesus did. Not because we are actually well. But we can become better than we are. I was feeling even before this program, I fail a lot. Sometimes I think things I shouldn't think, and I might speak to people in a way that I shouldn't have spoken to them, and I might not be the person that I should be, this great, spiritual believer, Christian, and all this stuff. But then I was thinking that old saying, how I may not be what I should be, but I'm certainly not what I used to be. And a moment when I thought that corny little verse, a peace came upon me. Because I will be better. Because I am better. And I'm okay in the eyes of God. And when we truly, truly recognize that, we will have that same mercy on other folks. Yeah, he could have done better. But is he a better man than he was? And even after this situation, is he a better man than he was? And that's all this journey, this little short journey we have on planet Earth, that's all it's about. Getting ourselves in the right way. Making the right decisions. Trying to be better today than we were yesterday. And recognizing our mortality, and that there's going to come a point in time that we have to pass the baton. And at this particular point, when we're still running, that we need to begin to prepare other people to take that baton. To begin to share with them the right way, to begin to really recognize the negativities of our own life, to recognize the weaknesses of our own lives, and to impress upon the people who are looking at us, as their mentor, that this is not right, that my attitude isn't right, and that you need to be better, and I'm going to try to be better. Let's get better together. And that's what this purpose is about. When Jesus talked to Peter, he said, "Peter, do you love me?" And Peter says, "Oh, you know that I love you, Lord." Jesus said, "Feed my sheep. Feed my sheep." And ministers take this one way or the other way, but the reality is, he said, if you love me, feed my sheep. Feeding the sheep takes a commitment. Especially when we understand, the correlation between sheep and the people and the shepherd and all that. What it takes is a wellness. It takes a shepherd that's going to be honest. So we spend a lot of times, I think because of our insecurities, just trying to put this picture, put this image out there that's great, bigger than life. That everything is right, everything is well. Look at me. But that isn't even the message that heals. That's not even the message that ministers. That's why we have churches of failing folks and parishioners that just aren't making it. They're coming to church and they're seeing the pastor who's got it together. And within themselves, they're like, I wish I could have it together like that, but they don't, because they know themselves. Well, if they really knew this minister, the pastor, they would recognize he doesn't either, or she doesn't either. We need to begin to be more transparent, more honest, and begin fighting our battles. Exercising and working out in front of each other, and allowing to see our weaknesses, to see our unwellness. That we're trying, and we're trying too. not be like those Pharisees that don't carry the burden themselves but put heavier burdens on the people around them. And so if we're looking at failing ministers, if we're looking at failing parishioners, if we're just looking at failing people at all, just make sure that you're responding to them as you would have someone respond to you, because you are failing in areas yourself. We are weak. And when we are weak, He is strong. And how is He strong in us? The hand of God, the hand of Jesus on this earth is often through other believers. That's how we are made well. That's why Jesus tells us to love one another. Love the brethren, but as well love your neighbor as you love yourself. With that love, that's the help. So that help that comes from above often comes through us, to each other. Let's try to remember that. I'm going to try to remember it. We can get so caught up in everyday things, politics, negativities, presidents, get pissed off, whether it was the last president, Obama, or whether this president, half the nation. We can get so caught up in things that take us off our game. And we begin to forget the purpose why we're here in the first place. We're not here very long now. Make sure and take wise advantage of the time that you're here. Not lamenting on what you don't have. Just recognizing what you do have and what it is that you're supposed to do with that. How's that?